What, condensing all that?
You talking about?
I ain't gonna lie, I zoned out for a second. What you saying? What you
Jesus,
saying?
Lord of mercy. Passing energy with your host pre. When this mouth start yapping, that's it. And that's it. Prepare to be enlightened and entertained. And that's it. Hey guys, Priest here, and welcome to another episode of Nerding Wednesday with co-host Sky.
Hello.
Now, guys, we came to talk about the ranking of kings. That name is very interesting, but anyway, let me let me get the intro all the way through. So, the ranking of kings is a popular anime that came out last year that is really going like it's trending all over social media, and you know me, I had to jump on top of it before y'all forget about it. So me and Sky is going to be talking about the rank of kings, our impression about it, and yada yada yada. So guys, make sure you subscribe to Nerding Wednesday, the YouTube channel. Make sure you leave a like, comment. What are your thoughts on ranking of a king? Did it live up to everyone's expectation? Or is there the hype is there? Is it let me know. Let me know what y'all think about the series in the comment section. So, Sky, let me start off. What are your thoughts on Ranking of Kings?
I like it. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was very good. I really appreciated the overall concept. Like, I like the concept. I like the art. I like the
Mm,
emotions it gives me. I like
right,
how they have this whole small kid who's deaf and mute make him such a nice character. Like, I don't know what it is, but they really know how to make do some character writing. So
right.
overall, I really enjoy the series. I like the action as well. I just feel like they have a lot of possibilities with this thing. They really outdid themselves with this one.
Right. I agree with you 100%. I was shocked. At first, I saw Ranking of a King on TikTok, TikTok where I am host priest, guys. Follow me there. Follow me there. When I saw on TikTok, I remember seeing this huge giant and this small little lady and this tiny baby in her hand. And the joke was how they produced the child. So that was the joke. I stitched it not knowing what the hell I was stitching. I just thought it was just funny how they have this huge giant and this small lady and they produce a child. So I thought that was very funny, not knowing that this was a show ranking of a king of kings. And when I was like going through Instagram, people recommending the show, keep talking about the show, I was like, I don't like the drawing style. One thing about me, I have to get out my because every time I think a show is not going to be good because I look at the drawing style, and then it's be like slapping
It's
my
always
face,
it's
like,
always you guys in the drawing styles, man.
yeah,
You guys realize anime's changed. Dang it.
yeah. I must admit, I'm coming start to come over my little shell because it's like, oh, I judge the book by a cover, even though I don't like when people do it with me. I'm doing the same when it comes to these anime shows. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna like it. I don't like this. Looks stupid. This looks stupid. And then when I saw all over Instagram saying that it coming down to this last episode, how it's the best, people talking about how it's the best show in the last 20 years, a decade, one of the best shows. I'm like, what, really? All these people emotional, and then me and Sky we record a podcast must a couple of days ago, and he was just talking about it. I don't know how we're gonna post maybe this podcast up first or that one. I'm not sure, but anyway, so he was talking about it, and I'm like, really? And I say, again, Sky is really be on top of his game when it comes to his recommendation. So I was
I
like,
don't say a lot. My boy is be much more
hmm?
into what on top, and I just be like, oh, that's nice. But then we just watch different things, so.
So I said, okay, let me give it a chance. Let me give it a chance. So when I watched the first episode, I was like, oh my God. I got hooked. I got hooked, and then the emotions start to just draw out. This is just showing me because it gives me a silent voice. If anyone don't know a silent voice, how the main character, did you watch Silent Voice the movie? I think you said you read the
Yeah,
manga.
yeah. I watched it too.
Okay, I even need to read the manga because it said the manga have more context
Yeah,
than
it
the
has more
movie.
context for everything.
So when the silent voice, the character, she was deaf and she couldn't speak either. And she was just a nice, sweet person, getting bullied and all this stuff. And I'm like, to have a man, because it was a movie, Silent Voice was a movie, so it was just a one shot. But have a series where the main character is deaf, and can't speak. It was like, wow, that's not the typical protagonist, the MC. That's not a particular hero. And the fact that they represent people who are going through that, that was beautiful to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, we need more shows that represent every type of humans on this earth. And that was amazing. And that's why I decided, and I don't make this about me because you don't even know the project I even talking about. But I wanted to do a project, and Sky knows, and my friend Andrew know. I want to do a project of a manga where I want to touch into different type of people, different type of relationships, and all kind of stuff. Take out my comfort zone of what I'm used to seeing, and try to make something that represent everyone. So to see Bojji, that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah, Bojji.
Bojji, to see Bojji, a lovable character, to see him just take on the world and hide in his feelings. To see the fact that he's not like, okay, let's say Luffy. Luffy don't care what you gotta say about him. You can make fun of Luffy all you want. Luffy just like, okay, and next, moving on. But when they saw the fact that when Bojji's by himself and he break down crying, he was faking all that time that their words wasn't hurting them. That made me feel some type of way. And I was like, oh my, I started to warm. I'm like, oh goodness, I say I have a heart.
It grew three
I
times that day.
Yes, it's not exactly. It's how I grew three. Because I'm the miniature Grinch, so I was like, oh my god, my heart's not the beat. I'm like, what the hell is this? So that got me. I'm like, that was real. That was real, and it showed you how much your words can affect others. I've known that this is not the first anime or TV show that's done that, but it just was so refreshing to see. You know, you could show the anime character, oh, I'm going to triumph. I want to triumph over this hardship, and I'm not going to let it get me, or I'm going to work hard to improve myself. But to show that sign of weakness when he started to cry by himself, that was amazing to me. This show got me. This show got me. Just show me that little part that got me. I said, this is going to be something. This is going to be something amazing. What do you thought about that?
The whole scene where he smiled to the crowd and then cried.
Yeah.
I think it's small. Like it's
Hmm.
a small moment that
Hmm.
really can really touch you.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure it's something that a lot of shows can do. You know, show a character smiling in the face of everyone ranking on them, and then see their weakness when they start breaking down. I feel like most times you'll always feel bad for the character.
Right.
You know, like Joker, for instance, the Joker movie. He kind of went through the same thing. You can feel the pain that he's going through, and he puts it on his sleeve when he's by himself. Like, hey, I'm not doing well, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that because a lot of people go through that. So when I feel like Bojji you could relate with Bojji to that extent. I think they did that super well. He would laugh at all. You would be like, okay, he's laughing, but you could feel his emotion that he don't want this life. And I feel like it's the same thing for Bojji, where you could feel his pain. He does not want this life, but he gotta smile and move on because this is him. Like, he knows this is his life. This is what I have to do. And I feel like, yeah, you could relate with that. Like, hey, my day sucks. People always mess with me, but by the end of the day, this is me. You go to your corner, you cry when you get home after a
Hmm.
long day at work. You know, it's stuff like that. I feel like it's very relatable for a lot of people, and I feel like that's what draws out the emotion within that scene.
Yes. And hey, guys, just letting y'all know that this episode is going to be full of spoilers. So if you have not watched Ranking of Kings, You gotta come back. Pause this video and come back when you finish, and we
Spoiler
have
alerts.
yeah, spoiler
Spoiler
alert.
alert.
So I want y'all to be like, he spoiled me. Like I did warn you 10 minutes in. So yes,
You
yes.
should
So
have known before clicking this video you was gonna get
yes,
spoiled.
you're
Eh,
gonna get doggone spoiled. So yeah, so I really did like that. I really like how they just switched up the formula of the main protagonist to show these real world issues when it comes to disabilities and make him the main character. I thought that was very smart, very beautiful, refreshing, and he was not the typical anime character. Say, oh, he's just weak, and then he became strong. It's like, no, he faced a lot of outside of just being weak. He had another disability, and he did not let his disability get him down. And that was just beautifully normalizing.
he's a better version of Deku.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. That is true. That's true.
When Deku was crying, I ain't got no powers. Wait, Bojji crying because again, you getting made fun of for
Yeah,
being deaf and mute, bro. Like I ain't know. It's
yeah.
small. He just got the short end of the stick in a lot of ways, and it's just rough.
Yes. Now, Kage is the shadow. He's part of the shadow clan. I thought that was very interesting. At first, I thought maybe he's submerged in the shadow, but not knowing that no, that's his actual body. That's just how his body's made up. It's kind of odd how they have normal humans, and then they barely have any creatures in the human ups on the surface. They don't really have any creatures like that. Just have regular humans, and they interact with these random creatures like no big deal. I
Yeah,
thought it was very odd because there's not enough diversity in these human villages to be like, oh, this is normal. You know what I mean? Or
yeah.
you didn't find that odd?
I mean, I didn't really mind it
Mhm.
because I kind of, I mean, his entire race was basically slaughtered. He's the last of his
No,
kind,
but even
So
creatures on the whole, because all the creatures live in the underworld. Most of the creatures live in the underworld. So, and it's not like they had enough like diversity of these towns showing different creatures. Everything was just human, human, human. So it's
yeah,
like to
the humans are
see,
the above world, and I guess every other monster is the underworld. Because I guess there's a political side view on all of this, why it is what it is. But I mean,
Mhm,
giants seem to be above in the above world.
mhm,
Apparently, they seem
mhm,
scarce, but they seem to exist above.
mhm. Right, right. Well, Kage, he had a sad backstory, which I appreciate. That made me cry. I was like, oh man, I wasn't surprised it's going to show that flashback right off the bat.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that they did it, but I think it was a smart move either way for us to understand why he would relate with Boji. Because sometimes you
Yes.
just have characters just popping in and then acting all friendly, and you don't really know nothing about them, so you kind of have to feel out what type of personality this character is throughout the show. But at least they give you it instantly by showing you his past.
Yes, that was really sad, man. To see, boy, that was hard. To see his mom get killed and see his mother weird, like on a sword. To see his mother
Boy, that
body.
that was some what do you call it, devil man. That was some devil man moment right there.
Yeah, yes. Oh, Devil Man. Oh, I don't think Boji's a sad story, but I don't know. No one can talk Devil Man. Devil Man really. Let me tell you some guy.
Devil.
If y'all have not watched Devil Man, prepare, get your Kleenex, get whatever, your towel, whatever, your
Got your
cloth,
Bible.
get the Bible. Cause that will mess you up emotionally. I
Yeah,
even I don't even think what the show called, man, what you got me to watch. The guy who could transform into different people.
I think you got me to watch that. I forget what it's called.
No,
I
you
got
got
you
me
to
to
watch
watch
that.
that.
Sorry, in Eternal or
Yes.
something.
To Your Eternity, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think Devilman and To Your Eternity probably neck and neck when it comes to that emotion thing. I really do it. When it comes to series, I must say. I've not seen
You think so?
anything.
Because I feel like Devilman, after a certain point, I think like halfway through, they just be slapping you with, "Hey, feeling this." You feeling this yet? And
Yeah,
they slap you with another. You feeling this yet?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a
You're
they'll give
right.
you a soundtrack. You feeling this yet? And it's like, oh my god, stop it.
Yeah, Devil. I think yeah, you're right. Because the fact of the matter is that and I don't spoil anyone for Devilman because y'all ain't coming to be spoiled by for Devilman. So, but just watch it on Netflix or wherever we always watch stuff. But Devilman definitely because of the connection he had with the people. So yeah, because to your eternity, he just met people like randomly and built connections. So he did not know long lasting relationship with them. But anyway, so yes, to see that happen with Kage and his family, that was just so sad. You know what I mean? And to see your parents sacrifice themselves so you get away and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was strange, the little girl, but they never actually show her again after that who helped them escape. I thought that was a little odd. I was like, okay, so who are they?
A little girl help him escaping.
Huh?
Well, for Kage, a little girl
Yeah.
help him escape.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What
I
is it?
forget about that. No, I forget about that.
Oh, I thought you was trying to say something different.
No,
I
no,
think
no,
did I miss something?
no. I don't remember that scene.
Yeah, yeah, that's how quick it was. The little girl helped him escape, but they never explained who the little girl was, or because clearly she was important because the chief or whoever the head soldier abide by her butler or servant's wishes.
Uh-huh.
So, but they never explained who she was, or
I guess later on I will explain that she might
wait,
become.
oh, you think that's gonna be a season two?
What you mean? What you mean? They think there could be a season two? You must see ain't no way. All right then. You must see wasn't reading the room on the subplots of this show.
Hold on. So why? Because see, this. Well, lucky I didn't write this because I was gonna write a post about how this was the last episode.
No,
Well, so
wait.
why everyone reporting stuff that this is the final?
Yeah, final episode for season one. What the fuck? There ain't gonna be
So
no.
why? 'Cause mind you, now when I saw the last episode, I'm trying to figure. Wait, hold on. This is
I
not
ain't
the
seen no last
final.
episode. That was 23. That ain't the last episode.
No, but
I
I'm
hope not. They gotta be 24 episodes. That's how you do it. It's either 12 or
mm,
24 episodes. That's the 23rd. So they look like they could be.
no because he's
This,
on because clearly he's going on a whole new adventure. So I'm
yeah.
trying to figure like, but everyone posting like certain blogs or whatever posting that this is the final episode. That's why I didn't do my.
I mean, I ain't seen
I
it
was
like
trying
that
my
yet.
best to do my own little bootleg research, and I couldn't find anything. Because I'm trying to figure where have it shown that this is the last episode. Because like final, this like the season like final finale. Like I haven't seen no major publication, Funimation. None of them saying that it's a final. It's just the small blog saying, or the studio and the staff send their final wishes and say their final farewells. And I'm trying to figure like, wait, what? So I'm confused. I need to do more research on that before I make that post because I'm lost on that situation. But anyway, if there's gonna be a season two, the girl will probably be explained better, Because when I looked at the name ranking of kings, I was trying to figure like, okay, I thought the story is gonna be him fighting different nations, and getting the ranking up. I didn't know it was gonna be really just an internal fight in his own kingdom.
Yeah, I feel like it's just his backstory. I feel like it's just his upcoming story of what he's going to do.
Mm. I, okay, I thought that was odd because I was like, okay, this name really didn't reflect this first season, if you ask me.
No, I think they mentioned it. They mentioned it a couple times, but it makes sense because his father was
Ranked
number
number
one king.
7.
No, his father was number one.
He was number 1.
Yeah, no one could match him. Remember, he made a deal. He's the most powerfulest man in the world. So he was
Oh, I
number
must
one
read that
king.
wrong then, because when I was watching, they showed his ranking and title up top. When they first introduced him, I thought it said 7. Oh, he's number 1. Oh, and that's why Homeboy, who's number 2, wanted to kill him
Mm-hmm.
so he could be number
Oh,
1.
yeah, basically. Because he lost to him and he wanted to win. He wanted to be the strongest, so he made a deal with the devil.
Okay, so now Nas make more sense because I really was under impression. I must have read that wrong. Officer read that wrong where it said number 7. I said, okay, you made a deal with the devil be number 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that very interesting. And what's crazy to me is the fact that I like how they set up the queen's role, Helen.
Yeah.
I like how they set up to make it seem like she was heartless, but she really was just scared for him. So not knowing that she's keeping him as a crutch. It just shows you how people, it reflects how a lot of people with disability feel. Like, I can do stuff. Stop pitying me. And I thought that's amazing. The audience as in me, you, and who all watching, we under the impression that she was a horrible person.
Yeah,
But
in the first
Bojji,
episode,
in
yeah.
the first festival, but Bojji knew what type of person she was from the jump. You know what I mean? Because when she
Yeah.
even allowed him to go on the adventure, he kissed her. In
Yeah,
the
because he got healed by her, right?
yeah,
During that time, after she healed him and all that, then you're like, oh, she's a nice woman, and she actually cares for him. She's just being strict
yeah,
because
she's
that's what mothers do, and she knows
yes,
that she want to protect him because she know that overall he got a lot of disability, and she don't want him to be suffering out there
yes,
like that. That's why she want him to be like, what you doing out there? Stay
yes,
inside there, stop acting up, and just calm down. Which is understandable. Parents care about their child like that. They're like, no, I don't want you acting up over there.
yes,
you,
yes.
you know
It's very refreshing to see that, and to see the brother. I think he's a douchebag, but he,
yeah, no, yeah, I felt like he was too privileged
yeah,
because he got all the things that Bojji could have gotten.
right. I thought that portrayal with how they made him the king instead of Boji. I thought that was so like
I felt that. I was like, yo, that's rough. Like,
yes, it was. It was. And the crazy thing about it is that the dad literally set up the situation because he wanted Boji to never have to, because of, if y'all didn't know, like I say, guys, spoiler, he he cursed his son. For him to be the world's most strongest person, he made a deal with a demon, which is he's going to take the strength from his firstborn child and give it to him. So he cursed his son, and because he cursed his son, he wanted to give his son a kingdom that he don't have to do any work for. I thought that was bittersweet. Bittersweet. The fact that he did that. You know what I mean, Sky?
I mean, I feel like overall
Mm,
he, besides him knowing what he did to his son and
mm.
always looking in agony whenever he came to his son, he still really loved his son,
Yeah.
and he knew that his son was eligible to be king. Whether or not he could really fight.
Mm.
He knew his son couldn't really fight like that, but he knew that his son had what it takes to be a king, just because he didn't have the strength. So I'm pretty sure that's why he still wanted his son to be king. That's my interpretation on it, at least. But that's why I
Yeah.
feel like he still wanted his son to be king.
Yeah, because he wanted to make the kingdom sufficient, where his son had to worry about anything. So he inherit a kingdom that is doesn't have any conflict or anything like
That's
that.
flourishing, yeah.
It's flourishing. That's why he said that he did this for his son because he know what he did to his son, so he wants to give him a kingdom that he just gonna relax. He's gonna have everything catered to him and whatnot. And I thought it was like really selfish of the stepmother Helen, even though I kind of understand her reason because she feel like she want him to just have an easy life. She don't want him to have to hurt his head over this kingdom. She could,
Yeah.
because she said no, give it to her son and let her son protect him. I liked her personality. As the episode go on, you realize that this woman really cared for him. She really did,
Yeah.
and
And it's
everything is just
really
a
nice.
front.
It's a refreshing stepmom thing, It's like
Yes.
it's really nice to see that she has no blood ties to this dude, but she love him dearly. That's nice. That's nice.
Yes, yes, it is. It like you said, it's very refreshing to see her, and the fact that you see her, she became a lovable character, and I'm sure she's a fan favorite. And
Yeah, people, they got their little fan service out of her. They
yeah, oh,
promote
they're fans of every day.
her.
So see her in that light, that was great. That was great to see that stepping up like that. Her stepping up like that. I think she neglected her son, her main son, because she's too worried about her other son. That her son didn't have lack emotions because she focused more of her attention on making her the perfect person to be king and babying up Bojji. I think that's probably what happened
I
to.
don't really think that's the case. I feel like she did put her effort into her actual son too.
I think she
She
put
really
effort
loved.
in to make him a good king. But I don't think that emotional support he needs to be grounded. She didn't do that. You
I feel
know?
like she tried, but because Daida already had Mianjo, the mirror, I think that's what was. I feel like he was more influenced by her, so he didn't really show as much towards his actual mother until like later on in the series. You can see that hey, he actually do love his mom too. Like once you relinquish all power from him, he's just a mama's boy as well, in a sense, you know. And I feel like it's a very interesting concept in that sense. Like you would think, hey, these dudes are like selfish and whatnot towards each other, but like deep down they really care about each other. And then you have to reconsider why it is that they do what they
Ah,
do.
but hold on, wait. That's flashed right in my head. Didn't Dida try to assassinate his brother?
I want to say yes, but at the same time, I don't know. I can't remember. I
He
feel
did.
like
He gave
yeah, I feel
he
like
gave
he.
orders to homeboy. What his name again? One of the big four. He gave orders to assassinate him.
That's the thing. I'm not too sure if he said kill my brother. I think he just said get rid of him.
I mean, what's the
But I
difference?
don't know. I have to think about that. Like I might have to rewatch that scene.
See, a
But
lot of
yeah,
stuff wasn't. I think those of the power was. I think they were being consistent, and either they rushed certain. Like that's why I believe when they said they rushed certain things because certain things that wasn't connecting properly. And I understand they had a certain plot they wanted to get Bojji into Underworld. They wanted to show. They didn't really reveal who the bad guy was, so they hiding mostly on Dida instead of having as Miranda, whatever her name is, before they revealing that okay, she was mastermind, they really hiding behind Dida. But they rushed that in a way where that's not even explained. Now all of a sudden now you wanna they show flashbacks of him sticking up for his brother this time. You could stick up for your brother and then you could send someone to kill him. Like I don't understand. That didn't make no sense to me. I'm sorry. That didn't make no sense to me. But
hmm
let's go to the underworld. So he went to the underworld, met the underworld king. I still don't understand how the underworld works. Because I'm trying to figure these people are regular humans, if you ask me. But I understand that.
yeah. No, I think the underworld keeps these monsters at bay in a sense. Like they keep them down there, and
Mm.
then the powerful king keeps them at bay, so that they don't be ravaging the upper world.
But
I
they
think
did
that's the
explain
idea of
at
the
first. I
king.
try to figure, wait, hold on, why is the what's this? What's the teacher name?
Despa, not yeah, Despa.
Oh, Despot. Okay, so yeah, I was trying to figure, okay, why is he human and this underworld? I was so confused on how it works until they reveal later on in the series that oh, his father was like a monster and he got a human wife. Now it started to make more sense because I'm trying to figure, wait, hold on, why are these humans running this stuff and all kind of stuff? It didn't make no sense to me. Then,
hmm
like I said, later on, you watch the series and you gotta understand the whole dynamic, the struggle they had as brothers, and then basically the Mad King, they assassinate their brother like how they did in Game of Thrones, their father and man. So that was interesting, to see that situation. And I must say, throughout the series, but they didn't really need it, I was trying to figure like they didn't really have much action. And like later on in the series, when you really see fight scenes and all kind of stuff, but really the whole majority of the episode was just filled on slice of life, basically, in a sense.
hmm
Do you feel that way too or no?
Yeah, I feel like it's like a slice of life. I feel like it's kind of weird. What is like slice of life? Is it just reenacting emotions? You know. So
Mhm. Because they didn't really have much of an action, and it wasn't really much of an adventure either. So I think it's like mostly that slice of life and world building, but which is fine. It was very entertaining. Like there was not a dull moment in the series, and I think that was very great to see all these, just to see the world and everything. Now, I understand that what is it again? What his guy name is, man? Don't who train him?
Domus is the one who pushed him to kill him.
Yes, Domus. I understand you would listen to your king and all that kind of stuff, but I never understood how you could look at someone as Bojji and all this time you just look at him as a shame. That was crazy to me. The fact that this boy only show you his happiness and all you think, man, I want to be training Dida. I don't want to be training him. I'll be training Dida. You
Yeah,
know what I
because he
mean?
saw potential and died, and it's kind of hard for you to train someone who has no potential.
Yeah, but it's sad though.
Yeah, it is sad, but I feel like that kind of relates to real life at times too. Like a lot of teachers, like I want to train, I want to teach the people who are interested. But even though some people are interested, they kind of suck at it, And then it's like I feel like I'm wasting my talents trying to
Mhm.
teach someone who sucks at it. You
Right.
know, so you want to teach it to someone who's really good at it, so that they can outshine you in the future. That's kind of a teacher thing. I mean, it sucks looking at it, but in reality, that's just kind of how it is.
You know, that's true, because I remember there's a flashback to me. I remember I always wanted to do track and field, but because I had my asthma's really bad, and I had a bad knee, so I never actually pursued it professionally. But in high school, I used to compete, like run. I used to come second place to guys who train all the time, train against different schools. And I'm like, damn, I'm really good at this. But because my asthma, my knee was really bad, I couldn't train like them. But I said, I really want to do this. So when I came in high school at 18 years old, and I think it's like 18, yes, 18. My dad talked to our neighbor, and he was a coach to the Olympians. And my dad told him that, and also he's coached other track and field students, teenagers and everything. He's like, okay, my son, he's in the track and field. Could you train him? And yada yada yada. The guy said, okay, let me see what he could do. So when I go, because I'm not in shape, I mean not like overweight, but I was not. My body was not in shape for a track run, like whatever.
I get that. Yeah.
So yeah, so when I started to run and do all the training, I couldn't keep up. I was getting tired, out of breath, and all kinds of stuff. The guys who was like Olympians, they was training me. They said, "You could do what you could do. Let's do it. Let's do it." Do it. I said,
Heavy
I know
breathing.
that man was like, "What the hell did this man bring to me?" You just see me. I was skinny, but I was like a big overweight person running at the time. Cause my asthma kicking in and my knees is kicking in. I said, so they say I had to wait for. They say, "Good job, good job." I must admit, those guys are really positive, even though they know God darn well I was not in shape for this.
You gotta be positive. You gotta be
Yeah,
like,
they was.
okay, I
I
want to
must say
break
this.
this kid's spirit.
They showed me more confidence. These guys, these older guys to me, they're like in their 20s. They showed me more confidence than the doggone coach. But I got a look on his face where he looked very disappointed.
Yeah, so I would say that Domus was kind of the same thing. Like, even though he kept encouraging Boji, because
Mm-hmm.
he still likes Boji
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. It's just it's disappointing for him at the same time. Like,
Right.
I'm cheering for you and I want your success, but it doesn't feel like you're gonna get there, and that kind of hurts my pride a bit.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, he told my dad. He said, yeah, no, your
I
son.
think you need to take your son home.
Yeah, he's not. He's not. He's not. He's not.
Don't come
He's not.
back here.
He's not afraid. So what he wants to do, because he said I started too late. What he wanted a product that was ready formed. He don't want to start from scratch,
Yeah,
and
but
that's what.
it's kind of hard, I must admit, when it comes to
I mean, if you know
athleticism.
what you do, if you know what you, let me be honest. If you know what you're doing, start from scratch is not hard. Now, if you don't have the patience, that's something different. If you want the patient, I want to work with something that's already made, and that's what he wanted. He didn't want to start from scratch, which is his right. You know what I mean? He don't have to. Get that someone else's job. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I my purpose is not on the field. My purpose is yapping my mouth sitting down.
You gotta look back at it and be like, it's a good thing I had a bad knee.
Yes,
I'd have
because
been
how how long could you run for, and how long you could yap your mouth on the mic? Hey, 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 okay.
comparing.
That's the way. That's helped me sleep at night. I did not do track and field.
See,
You're
don't worry.
talking and you're sitting down, you're living your purpose. But everything happens for a reason. But anyway, yeah, so I kind of understand. Thank you for giving my little that memory just now, even though I'm going to cry after this. But I understand now. I understand now why Domus felt the way he felt. Even though I would know if I go to the extent of killing a child to, to
Yeah,
help
but he
that
was
type of.
switching up. He said, I want to work for this dude as king because he asking right now, hey, I gotta show my loyalty, and it's just like, ah, dang it, I was put in a hard rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, I think overall, Domus
Hmm.
obviously regretted his decision and
Hmm.
never wanted to do it. But
Right.
sadly, his character was that he chose Daida over Bojji.
But
And then
let me tell you something. And what was amazing, and I clapped my hands to them. Bojji did not forgive him right away. And that was beautiful because that was reality. That was
yeah.
reality. Just because you say sorry to me doesn't mean I forgive you. You try to kill me.
And
And
then and boy Kage is his boy. Kage say, hold up. Bojji sad about this and feeling anxiety. Give me a second. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself coming up here expecting them to forgive you. I was like, oh flip. Clap for my boy Kage for
yes,
supporting Bojji.
that was my cheering moment. I say, yes, this is reality. Just because a lot of animators do is like, oh, I apologize. You'd be like, it's okay. It's okay. No, you tried to kill me, and that
Boy.
traumatized me. And it showed, and it also showed what Bojji was. Every time Bojji see him, he see him pushing him.
Yo, that those expressions, I felt that. I was like,
Yes,
oh,
that
I
was
feel
beautiful.
uncomfortable looking at Bojji feeling uncomfortable.
That was
Like
beautiful.
he was uncomfortable. And it's hard because as a mute, he can't express himself.
Yes.
So you can only hear his like his shuddering inside his and it's just like, ah man, that's heartbreaking, man.
Yes. That's crazy. And the crazy thing about at first, because I like to bring it all to reality, how passing energy, how priest goes. And the fact that at first Kage was trying to push Bojji into getting over it. But when he saw how shaken up he was, he said, no, 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 I can't push you no more. What you doing? What you doing to my friend? Y'all hurt my friend.
Basically, I feel bad for the other boy though.
Yeah, yeah, he
The
got
the
blamed.
one
He got
who worked with Domus. I was like, oh, you ain't gotta treat him bad. My boy was respecting Boji from day one. But
but
I can
see, he don't
understand
know
if
that. They
Boji
don't know
don't.
that.
Yeah, I get that. That's why I was like, you know what? He didn't know that. Like Boji didn't know
Mhm.
that, and it's okay because the other guy understood that, and he say it don't matter whether I was wrongly convicted. I still care for this dude, and I will fight for my right to still be by his side.
Yes.
And I was like, I respect this man. I respect this man.
I understand why he respect him also because Domas
Yeah, yeah,
could
yeah,
easily take him out. That Darcy, that's his name, Darcy.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, he could easily kill him, but he didn't. And he could easily block his blow, but he ended up allowing him to chop his hand. I think that's why he said, okay, I think that's the reason why he forgave them. Not right away, because he tried to kill him a couple
Yeah,
times.
I'm pretty sure he was like, okay,
Mhm.
I will use this as a stepping stone towards your forgiveness because it seems you're very convicted that you
Yes,
would give up your sword hand for this,
right.
you know. And I was like, wow, yeah, that's some conviction. My boys say, cut it off, bro, cut it off. Give me my punishment for betraying my student or my prince. And he's just like, it just which is
Exactly.
understandable because a lot of people feel that like they just do something
Mhm.
that they don't want to do, and then
Mhm.
they just feel it and it's like, I need to feel pain right now. I need to be hurt and get over this because this really hurting me mentally and emotionally right now.
Yeah, and I just like I said, as I repeat myself, I just like the fact how they showed how people is trying to force you to get over stuff. It's like, no, I gotta do it on my own time. And to show your friends support that decision, that was beautiful. And I show you how strong a friendship they had. Because not a lot of people like that. A lot of people like, man, you
Yeah,
should get over
I
it.
feel like overall this show is more like a mental health show.
Yes, because we go through stuff and everyone wants you to get over stuff because they over it. It don't work that way. It takes time. It take a process. And if you see me hurting, just because you don't feel the same way doesn't mean I don't feel the same way. Don't project your feelings of getting over stuff onto me. And that's the thing society love to do. They love to force people to get over stuff. And I thought that was beautiful. Now, guys, you're not praising the show. Now it's time to get down to business. Why Ranking of the King is one of the trashiest shows ever when it
That's
comes to the
crazy.
last 3 episodes. That gonna be
Last
one of my
three. I feel like the last episode was fine.
the last three. No, well, the last episode, because the beginning of the last episode was the continuation of the stupid plot of the past two.
I don't know about. I don't want to say the plot's stupid, but okay, go on and say your
Yes,
piece.
yes. Let me do this. Let me do this because we. I go. This is why Ranking King is a horrible show. I gotta make the show. I did not sound make it sound dramatic.
Put that in your YouTube title.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Let
Put
me
that.
tell you something. Now this is where they piss me off. I praise them for reality, then this is pure fiction as hell. How the hell you gonna forgive this girl, this woman, who killed Bojji mother, who's the cause of a lot of deaths, and all of a sudden y'all want to say, "Oh, she is forgiven," and now Dida wants to marry her. I'm like, what the hell? I freaking cursed so much time in my head that gave me Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura. That's
Oh Lord.
Yes, that gave me them. Stupid. That was the most dumbest plot ever in my life. I said, that didn't even make no sense. I said, y'all want to forgive her, because I know every anime show is forgive the villain. They give a heart-filled backstory to villain, and they want the audience to feel so sorry for her or him, and then be like, okay, I forgive you. But this type of betrayal was just so it didn't even give consideration for Bojji at all. I think they didn't even care Bojji no more. And I understand that Bojji's a sweethearted person. He don't really have no huge connection to her when it comes to hatred, to know her backstory like that. They hate her so much. But it's so crazy. I'm trying to figure. I have a lot to say, and I want to pinpoint certain things, but first of all, I'm trying to figure out how old is this woman and how is this little kid marrying this woman and holding his hand. I thought the society. I'm sorry, I might go into some territory right now, but a lot of these Japanese studios are trying to normalize children and adults. I don't care what no one say. They're trying to normalize it, because that doesn't even make no sense that a grown woman, this little boy, proposed to a grown woman, holding his hand, talking about gonna marry her. I thought that was very cringe. Anyway, I digress. What do you thought? First of all, let me ask you, what do you think about Dida proposing to her?
I mean, it was expected.
How?
He already said he wanted to marry her from the beginning. He said he had feelings for her and everything, and then he was upset when he found out that she betrayed him. But then after watching her backstory and everything, and what she went through, and then watching the backstory of his father and how he could understand why she went through what she went through and why she was fighting so hard, you know. And although it's selfish on Meandro's part, you know, it's still, I guess, for Daida, he found it in himself to say, you know what, she was led down this path, and she don't need to be suffering anymore. I think that was the
She
idea. It
would
was that she
let me tell
was.
you something. She had a happy life with King Boss. She had a happy life with King Boss. King Boss wanted to be the most strongest person in the world, and so she went and found her demon friend, who she found out that she betrayed, because she told her, because he said that the more he make wishes, the more he become hideous. So she betrayed him. She make all these deals. She was one who convinced him to make sacrifice Bojji, and then try to assassinate Bojji. Well, assassinate Bojji and the mother, but only kill Bojji mother. And then on top of that, what was the reason? Because you was selfish. Because you wanted him to be
Basically,
all for you, and then you tried to
basically.
kill Helen. You killed my brother's mother, and then you tried to kill my mother multiple times, and I'm gonna forgive you. And this I'm like, boy, if I could have jumped in that story, I was gonna chop a friggin' head off. I say, flicking your talking foolishness.
Helen say, execute her, chop off that head, boy.
Mother, I'm marrying her. I'm like, are you
He said,
serious?
"I will take on whatever punishment
This,
need to be
this,
taken on."
this.
That's my boy say. He said, "I could take on whatever punishment need to be
Then
taken."
die with her. This B need to get chopped. I'm sorry. That was a bunch of foolishness. Foolishness. This woman killed people. I am so tired of that trope where we forgiven. I do believe, don't get me wrong, I do believe because that you do need to forgive, not for the person, but for yourself to let that hurt go, so you don't hold on to no hurt.
I think that's why Bojji did that.
But to say now that her crimes just automatically done with, that's ridiculous. This girl, this they people were
And she did a
killed.
lot, boy. She did a lot.
She did a lot. She killed. She caused a lot of people death. Like I'm so confused. People were did nothing to her. She put people through so much pain, hurt, and then all of a sudden now he could say, "I forgive you, brother." Shut up. Shut
Mm-mm.
up. Talking nonsense in my dog on there, but I forgive you. That even make no sense. And the fact that matters that you want to marry someone who your dad was obsessed with too.
No, he didn't have sex with her.
I just had to say as obsessed.
Oh, sorry about that.
No. I didn't say that. But yeah, your dad obsessed with, and your dad thought she was going to be free with him when
I feel
if he
like
died.
King Boss was obsessed with her because he'd known her for the longest.
After
And
he killed her dad, I'm like, this doesn't even make no sense.
uh
You killed her father, and then now you obsessed with the family. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This backstory. Her story was sad. Let me tell you something. When I start, her story became sad to me is when Dida and they was in the void, and
uh
Dida protected from the people who's talking bad about her, and then they
uh
showed her hand cut off and her face. They didn't
and
show
he
her
looked
face,
at
but
her face and he was like, "You monster!" And he went away
so that's
automatically.
when I felt bad. But when I actually saw the real backstory of hers, I didn't feel that. I didn't feel the same way no more. I'm like, okay, that's
It
sad.
felt like it was a lot of up and down in her life. You
Yeah,
know,
and she had a happy life with Tingham, but she turned selfish because she realized that oh, he has a wife now. She has a wife now,
yeah,
so
because she, those people that are like, "I don't have no one but you," and you got a lot of people, which means I have to give you up to all these people, and I don't want to do that because she don't got no one. So she selfishly said, "Time for me to take you." So essentially, she, I guess, killed the mom, and then I guess King Boss put her in cryogenic stasis down below inside the basement of the kingdom, and then that's why her soul, I guess, end up inside a mirror due to some instance.
do you
You
think
know,
King Boss is the reason why she died the first time?
who shot that arrow at her? Someone.
No, it was the guy who she signaled to shoot down the queen. He also shoot down her too. I'm trying to figure that was never explained.
Oh,
That was never explained. If King Boss sent that, why would if you know
person.
someone going to assassinate your wife? Why would you hire them to kill us? I didn't know. That was weird. And the thing about it, which is kind of explained, 'cause I'm trying to figure, he didn't really show that much remorse towards his first wife. It's like, okay, she dead now, she gone. Like they never actually brought up her name again. I understand he remarried, and it's like, okay, I have a new wife, so my focus on my new wife. But it's like there was no explanation about his side towards her at all. That it wasn't
Yeah, I
explained at
mean,
all.
overall, she was a byproduct because he wanted the strongest woman out there to make the strongest male, which would give him the power. So in a sense,
Right.
she was kind of used for that. And over time, I guess King Boss, I would say, was more into his son, like because he already knew his position. Maybe he loved his wife, you know. Maybe he couldn't. Maybe we can't see it now because it's been years, that he
Mhm.
don't show as much emotion towards his wife. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. He is a weird guy, I must say. I can't tell where his emotions are for people,
But
except
he
for his
did
son.
said that he loves her, Morangio, whatever how you pronounce it. He loves her. He cares about her the most, over trumping over anyone. which is kind of crazy. I'm trying to figure like, okay, this girl is
Mm,
crazy, and she assassinated your first wife. She's trying to assassinate your second wife, and now you want you and her soul to be free, so y'all could live in eternity together. I'm like, are you serious?
just
And
start
and when
over.
they had the opportunity to bring back the mother, when you saw her Bojji mother, and you saw her, it's like the only person who have questions for Maranjo, whatever, is her mother. She's the one who asked her, like, why did you do this? Why you do? She's the only one. Bojji's mother didn't have much to say. I'm trying to figure. This is your climax moment. You brought her back for what? That to say nothing? Like, what you here for?
No, she didn't. She wasn't brought back. She entered
I know.
the
I know.
life and death zone.
I know.
So
That's why
they came
I'm
on
talking
her
about the
own
writers.
beings.
They brought her
Oh,
back
okay.
in for what? For to stand there and look
I
like.
guess she was saying like you finally coming over here. You finally ending all this. You know. I guess she also wanted to gloat about her son. Is my son good or whatever? You know,
I don't know. That's crazy to me. And but that scene when Kage saw his mother, and his
boy,
mother was
boy.
begging for him to come back, that made me cry. I can say it's right on record, guys. That made me cry. I was like, oh, my eyes started to
And
water like
Kage was
crazy.
going. He said, "Mom, I coming." And then all he imagined was he best friend. He said, hold
You
on,
gotta help him.
things ain't done yet. No, Mianjo hold the boat for a second, and then that's when he remembered Bojji. He's like, hold on, my purpose ain't finished yet. I still gotta help out my boy. It
Right.
can't end like this. And he say, Mom, I love you, but I
Mhm.
have to see you later on. I
Right.
have things that need to be finished first. And I was like, dang, bro, that's rough. And he gone skeeting. He say, whoop, let's go.
That was
Let's go.
crazy.
Bojji, I coming. I was like, oh, look, that's a boy. That's your boy right there.
Yeah, yeah, that is the definition of a true friend. He was for him. He was for him. That was beautiful, and that made more sense. I think Bolji and Kage is a definition of a ride or die friend. Naruto and Sasuke is an example of a stupid
I ain't know what
friendship.
type friendship that was, but
That's a stupid friendship. I think that made perfect sense. I'm like, wow. And Kage know how it feels to be alone. And he's seen that Bolji was alone. Both of us lost our mother. Both of us ostracized by society. So I feel for you. I don't want you to be alone no more. So that was crazy. That was crazy. I still think that situation with they never explain Helen's powers other than the fact that she's healed, but no one explained
she
like,
was a nun. She was a nun before.
oh, she's a nun.
Yeah, you remember she was in that monastery,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
and then that's when boss came by and it's like, yo, Diamond Day. That was his way. He sweep women off his feet with diamonds, bro.
Yeah, I still try to figure like how in the world did they procreate? Unless he just put everything in a little tube and then pour it down. I'm like, can I figure how in the world? Cause that's impossible.
What, condensing all that?
You know, about
I ain't gonna lie, I zoned out for a second. What you saying? What you
Jesus,
saying?
Lord of mercy. I am talking about how they procreate.
Oh yeah, I never understood that, but I was like, I'm pretty sure he just
And
whenever
then
his
trying to figure
blast
like, did
twice. That's
he
all I
put
seen.
everything in a tube or because I trying to figure like how
They
unless
say he drowned her.
yeah like they was swimming all right. She was swimming too. Because I don't know how the world is even possible. I don't know unless he's the world's smallest person down there. Lord, that even you don't know the thing is that how in the world did the mother, how Boji mother know she was pregnant?
I ain't know. I'm pretty
Because he was
sure
literally the size of a
he
finger.
just popped right out. I surprised she ain't smash him. But I mean, for story wise, and I guess whatnot, it's still nice.
Yeah,
You know.
it is. But these are things, you're critical when you do critical thinking, law this law that don't make no sense. I'm trying to figure like, hold on. How in the world did she even know she's pregnant? Like one day did she felt a pickle? Like with like, oh, I'm pregnant. I had a baby. Because there's no way in
she
hell
must.
she
I
was
mean, women can tell.
Not all women. So I heard some of the stories are women. One
Yeah,
woman.
some women can't tell, but I mean, like, periods and stuff exist. They could tell by you. Hey, I have my period for like what, eight. I know. I feel like a lot of her energy was being zapped away from that because the curse of
Maybe,
Boji,
maybe. Anyway, I like I said, I don't. We probably go on and on, but Miranda, I don't think that her story. It maybe we give more nuggets of her backstory, and then we come to redemption. Then I would understand it. But how? And literally 3 episodes, literally one episode, we automatically forgive her. Like that didn't even make no sense. She did so much crap. It didn't make no sense. I didn't like that. And I know a lot of these anime studios just do that foolishness where they have people who are cold hard killers and villains, and you all want everyone to forgive them. I do believe in forgiveness. And even though I didn't practice it myself sometimes,
Mhm.
but it was too soon and it's too unrealistic. You always doing such. I think what made me annoyed the most the fact that how realistic ranking a king was when it comes to emotions and how people will handle real situations. All of a sudden, y'all want to throw in this curveball with this home girl. That didn't even make no sense. And y'all, I just felt like it just was rushed. I'm like, okay, and then now Dinah marrying her. Like, say, I forgive you. Like, you need to ask my brother if I forgive her. You forgive her? You forgive my bitch? How and holding this grown woman, this 12 or 10-year-old holding this grown woman in his arm, talk about marrying her. That's so creepy. Anyway. And then all of a sudden now, by the time they want to continue the adventure, Dinah give him the throne, and then Bojji get the throne back to him. I'm like, oh God. Even though I already felt,
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, I guess the people could be like, why we keep switching kings? What's going on here?
yeah, but I'm trying to figure, but I understand, like, to keep the story going, because this is proof that they're keeping the story going, because they gotta keep Bojji as the king, but now they throw a curveball where Kage and him now going to go on a new adventure, probably explore the world, looking for the perfect place to establish a new kingdom,
Yeah.
which I don't mind
And
seeing.
king's ranking still exists, mind you. The ranking of the kings. Remember, Despa's brother Desha, he he going off to try and be number one king. There's a lot of kings out there, and they gotta to go through combat and whatnot. So I guess each and every one of them will have to fight each other to prove they're not the number one king.
Right, right. Well, yeah. So I glad they, even though I didn't really like how they're playing footsie with the throne. I felt like they could have just said, Boji said, you know what? I'll make my own kingdom. Instead of before they said when Dido was saying, I'm going to give him the throne, and Boji said, you know, no, I actually want to make my own kingdom. Then I'll be like,
Yeah.
okay, fine. Then we start our adventure. But to say give him the throne and then he just throw it back, like that, I was like, really? And if I was a town folks, I'm like,
Why is this going on here?
I give this man all my stuff, show him appreciation for him to throw it back to someone else. That didn't even make no sense. That was so unrealistic and show you how much y'all did not care about your subjects. That y'all throwing away the throne like that. And now Daida's the king again. I don't know. And I don't think Daida had enough redemption in his story because of certain situations he did back in the past. How he executed certain people and whatever. And and I will make this because we already passing the time limit, so I'm going to wrap it up right now. But only thing I want to say, I didn't like the spare guy. I forget his name is. I didn't like him. You know, I talking about, right?
Yeah, Apis.
Yeah, I didn't like him because I didn't feel like they still haven't showed what Marangio did for him. Like they still haven't explained this obsession he had for her. I understand the king, they show a little bit of the backstory of the king, but him is like, I cannot, she did this for me. I cannot, I gotta save her. Don't please save her. Like, okay, but y'all not showing anything of a backstory for why he's so obsessed with her.
They did actually.
What they did, what they showed, what he did, what she did for him.
They essentially showed that she assist him to get for him to get to where he is now. Essentially, so she was like a mentor for him.
Oh god, that's not enough. That was enough. Oh, that's lackluster as hell. The obsession he had for him made it sound like she saved his life. No, that's not enough. You betrayed your kingdom, you betrayed your queen, you allow people to assassinate your queen under this crazy mirror. And you talking nonsense? I don't know. That didn't make no sense to me. Even though, like you said, there's definitely gonna be a season two. Now I think about it more is the fact that she just said I'm gonna help the demon out and get him back to his original form. That should show you more and more foreshadowing that there's going to be a season two. So I don't know where these blogs got that information where there was the last episode, final, showing you that the creators of the show doing their farewell. So I don't understand that. I don't know. Unless they try and say another studio going to pick it up. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who
Who
knows? Who
knows?
knows? Anyway, we could go like guys, we go on and on about ranking of the king. Like Sky to give his final thought. Plus, I want to know any particular episode that you did not like and why.
Uh, no. I feel like all the episodes were fine. I think 22, although I feel like although 22 is very not satisfactory,
Mm,
I kind of could say it's expected based on the character development that I've seen. Like I can't like although it's not like hey I don't like this no, but it is what it is, and this is how the characters were gonna kind of be. Even though a lot of scenes inside the show where characters were acting up when they didn't need to act up, and I was like, why do they do that? But then at the same time, because I don't like to take things too serious, because I feel like that ruins the experience. I said, you know what, it is what it is. I guess this is just how these characters are written, but I
mm,
still enjoy it, even though they're written this type of way, because I could appreciate a character. You know, I could
mhm.
still appreciate. Hey, even though you did this foolishness, I still think you're a good character. You know, maybe not written correctly, but I feel like because I see potential in your character development, I think it's still written in a good
Yes.
sense. So even
Oh.
though Miranjo do all that, I still think she's a good character. You know, I feel like she has some weird, learning her backstory, learning what her mother used to teach her, but she couldn't do what her mother wanted her to do. So she basically do the opposite of what her mother taught her in order to survive because of all that. You know, it's kind of like a lot going on, and it's fine. You know, it's fine. So I don't really have any hate towards any
Mm,
episode that I remember.
right.
I just really enjoy the connections of Boji and Kage and really enjoy how they interact with one another and the world.
Mm,
So whenever I see Boji on the screen and he's hanging out with someone and they like even Despa, the teacher, I thought that
mm.
was fun. I thought that was a fun few episodes with them together because it felt nice. It felt like, hey,
Yeah,
these
yeah,
guys are just bros chilling and acting up. You know, I don't know,
right.
but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Even though a couple episodes pissed me off, it really mostly focused on Miranda, or whatever you call it, guys. You know, Jack of Words. Looking past her and Dida, I would have even been satisfied with the king's obsession with her and how he want to protect her because he knew her longer than he knew his wife or his child. Still not even clarify how old is this woman. I don't like how they're slowly normalizing us into being okay with children and adults dating and marrying. They try to do that. I do not like
I
that,
mean,
but hey,
technically, I feel like she's in her 20s.
that is still a grown woman, and that boy he's not even a teenager. Okay, so it's creepy.
Yeah, I get that, but yeah, I get that. I get.
A lot of these studios are trying to normalize children with adults. I see it time and time again when you have children and adults flirting and blurring the lines. They outright show a child proposing to a grown woman. That is just crazy to me. But hey, it is what it is. Dida, I just don't like how he said I forgive her. Like it's not up to you to forgive her because she didn't take nothing from you other than couple hours of your freedom. She didn't do no major damage to you. But you know, it is what it is. Overall, the story is beautiful. Boji, great character, very great character development, representation, beautiful. Kage, beautiful. I like their dynamic, and I can't wait for their adventure. Season two. I hope Dida and Morangio, whatever, have a small role. I don't know. I want to see them, especially I want to see them lovey-dovey. I don't want to see that garbage. So if they're going to be a minor role in the main series, I'm okay with that. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. Because I really like Bolji's story. I like Bojji and Kage's friendship. I can just see them for just for hours hanging out, and I've been fine with me because their dynamic is cool. Them by themselves is cool,
I
so it's
agree.
fine. It's fine with me. So I can't wait for season two. It's a beautiful story, guys. Even though I'm highly critical about certain episodes, this I think the good still outweighs the bad. It's still a beautiful series, and it's really well written. Certain parts not, but it's still good. It touched on disability. It touched on mental health, forgiveness. It touched on dynamics of step parents. It just did a lot. It did a lot, and I must say it was a very good show. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I would I rate this show? I'll give it a yeah, 8 or 9. I would give it a 10 if that situation happened with Miranda. Yeah, that didn't happen. If that wasn't happening, if they would have forgive her without Dida proposing her, I think I've been fine. But how Dida proposed to this woman who attempted to kill his mother and kill his brother's mother, and then say, "I forgive you." Like, nigga, please. Anyway, I don't want to know too much of that. So, guys, what do y'all think about ranking of Kings? Do y'all think a season two is coming? Me and Sky believe that's to be so. How do y'all feel about the series? Did it live up to your expectation? What is your gripe? If you have any, let us know in the comment section down below, and let's talk about this. Yes, so make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube again, whatever y'all listening this on to. Make sure y'all are following us on our social link is down in the description. And yes, guys, until next time, peace.